Today we're diving into something ancient, mysterious, and way more layered than known as lasagna. The Vesica Piscis. Some people pronounce it Vesica Piscis, but they're wrong. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking this is just some geometry lesson, stick with me. We're about to uncover hidden meanings, cosmic connections, and why this shape, yes, a simple almond-shaped intersection of two circles, has captivated humanity for thousands of years. So grab a seat, maybe a snack, and let's get into it.
Heaven's gates told me hell no. Demon said I ain't special. Antagonists watch me meddle. Tell the world make it tremble. Question leaves them unsettled. Am I an angel or devil? Yes, whoa.
What the heck is the Vesica Piscis? Okay, let's start with the basics. The Vesica Piscis is formed when two circles of the same size overlap in such a way that the center of each circle touches the circumference of the other. The overlapping part, it's shaped like an almond and has been called the mandorla, which is Italian for little almond. Already sounds fancy, right? But wait, it gets cooler. The term Vesica Piscis is Latin for vessel of the fish, which is fitting because it looks like a fish when you tilt it sideways. So far, so good. But why does this simple shape matter? Turns out it's been a symbol of creation, balance, and divine femininity since forever. When the Vesica Piscis is oriented vertically, it forms a shape that has been symbolically referred to as the eye of God. This interpretation stems from the sacred geometry embedded in the Vesica Piscis and the symbolism of eyes in spiritual, mystical traditions. A fishy history, Christian symbolism, and beyond. You've seen that symbol on car bumpers, right? Well, it's called the Ichthys. The Ichthys is a symbol shaped like a fish, widely recognized in Christianity. Early Christians used it covertly, while its Greek acronym spelling out Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior, beyond its religious association, the fish has long been a symbol of life, abundance, and spiritual nourishment. Early Christians used it as a secret handshake, or more like a secret scribble, to identify each other back in the day when they were being hunted. But here's the catch. The fish symbol isn't even originally Christian. Nope. Christianity borrowed it. Like it did with a lot of things. Here's looking at you, Easter, and basically everything else. The Vesica Piscis is the OG blueprint for the Ichthys. It's got a height to width ratio of 265 to 153. Which connects to the mystical number of the square root of 3. Why? Because math is magic, people. In Christian art, this shape became a halo of divine glory, a womb of creation, and it shows up in cathedrals, stained glass windows, and the arches of Gothic architecture. But even here, Christianity just took a universal symbol and gave it their own spin, quite literally. Sacred geometry, where science meets symbolism. Let's get nerdy for a second. The Vesica Piscis is central to sacred geometry, a universal language that predates religion and might just blow your mind. Sacred geometry isn't just about shapes, it's about understanding the cosmos. In the case of the Vesica Piscis, it represents the union of opposites, masculine and feminine, light and dark, heaven and earth, the principle of polarity, if you will. Hint, hint. And here's where it gets juicy. The overlapping almond-shaped area is considered the womb of creation. In Egyptian symbolism, womb and tomb were interchangeable, which, let's be real, makes a lot of sense. Creation and destruction are two sides of the same coin. In a later episode, I will expose the farce of Jesus' supposed resurrection, and how it's either a gross misinterpretation of an ancient rite, the living resurrection ritual, or a fabrication designed between Peter and Rome, or both. But more on that in that episode. Think of the Vesica Piscis as a universal Venn diagram. It's not just a static shape. It's a dynamic balance between forces. Without one, the other falls apart. Mathematical interpretation of the Vesica Piscis. The Pythagoreans discovered unique properties of this symbol, In sacred geometry, straight lines correspond to masculine energy, and curved lines to feminine energy. When combined, three numbers with infinite properties like pi, 3.1415926, were discovered. The square root of 2, the square root of 3, and the square root of 5. Now, the square root of 2 is a sacred number used in Solomon's temple in Jerusalem and Torah in England. The square root of 3 matches the proportions of mandorla, 265 by 153, discussed in the Christianity iconography earlier. Square root of 5 is the number with which the golden ratio is found, an important ratio in art and architecture. In future videos, we will go deep into these mathematical ratios and sacred site building and other principles used by the Freemasons before they got all, well, you know by now, I'm sure. Double duty, the chalice and the fish. Depending how you look at it, the Vesica Piscis can represent two things. The chalice, not to be confused by the cup, which we will discuss later, trust me. When upright, it's the sacred vessel, the divine feminine, the holy grail. It's about receptivity and nurturing energy. The fish, tilted sideways, and now you've got the symbol of action, movement, and creation, the divine masculine. Christians quite literally put their spin on it, to turn it from the chalice to the fish. Anyway, it's not about choosing one or the other. The magic happens when these forces work together. Balance is the name of the game, homies. Remember, you can't pour from an empty chalice, and a fish out of water doesn't go very far. Christ consciousness, rising above duality. Alright, let's get real philosophical for a second. The Vesica Piscis isn't just about physical creation. It's a spiritual metaphor too. The almond-shaped center, that's the sweet spot where opposites collide and unity is achieved. And that, my friends, is what we call Christ consciousness. Now, I'm not talking about Jesus, the man, or the religion built around him. Christ consciousness is a universal principle about rising above duality and finding balance. It's about seeing the bigger picture, understanding that light needs dark, joy needs pain, and creation needs destruction. It actually gets deeper when I tell you it's also about the tension between both polarities, not just the balance. It's like learning to ride the wave using the force against you instead of just getting wiped out by it. This concept isn't unique to Christianity. In fact, it's found far before Christianity. It's found in Hinduism with Krishna, in Buddhism's teachings of balance, and in countless other traditions. All roads lead to the same truth. Opposites are necessary, and growth happens in the middle ground where all the tension resides. Remember this, homies. This is the common theme that will reoccur as we dive deeper and deeper into these subjects. It's not called growing pains without warrant. Anyway, why does this matter? So why should you care about this ancient almond-shaped doodle? Well, because it's a reminder to find balance in your life. Stop picking sides. Learn to live in the tension between the opposites. That's where growth happens. Think about it. Life is duality. Day and night. Love and hate. Chaos and order. Masculine and feminine. If you're only living on one side, you're missing out on half of what makes life beautiful. Worse yet, you're actually incomplete and incapable of becoming the greatness the universe intended you to be. The Vesica Piscis teaches us to embrace the uncomfortable tension between the opposites. It's not always easy, but that's where the magic happens. So, the next time life throws you a curveball, remember, the universe is just trying to nudge you towards your sweet spot. Without order, nothing exists. Without chaos, nothing evolves. And that's it for today, homies. If you learned something cool, hit that like button. If your mind is officially blown, drop a comment and let me know. If you could add to this or have anything to say, let's have a conversation about it down below. As always and with love, Valentino, the Grime Minister Grimes. Peace.
Thank you!